Hello book people, PT Hylton here with my September TBR. If you're new to the channel, I'll introduce myself. I primarily read fantasy and horror with a little crime fiction and even a little bit of comic books mixed in there. That's what I'm all about here on this channel. I'm also a writer. I write under the name PT Hylton and a lot of different genres, and I write action adventure stuff under the name JT Bear with a writing partner. However, this channel is mostly about my reading, and so I want to talk about what I'm going to read this month. I was a booktuber. I started this channel in 2014, but I haven't posted regularly since 2017, and a lot has changed in the world of books and Booktube and YouTube. Maybe if you're interested, I can do a video on that at some point. What's different, why I left, why I'm back, all that kind of stuff. If that's of interest, let me know in the comments. Okay, without any further ado, let's get into the books I plan to read in September 2023. First up, we have The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker. This is a book that my daughter gave me for my birthday, so it's very special for that reason, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. I'll read just a brief description. Two nations at war, one prize, beyond compare. For generations, the 100 Isles have built their ships from the bones of ancient dragons to fight an endless war. The dragons disappeared, but the battles for supremacy persisted. Now, the first dragon in centuries has been spotted in far-off waters, and both sides see a chance to shift the balance of power in their favor, because whoever catches it will win not only glory, but the war. So, I'm very excited to read this book. I've heard a lot of good things, and it's cool. Definitely got a cool cover, cool concept. Excited to read it. The other book I'm going to read in physical edition here is The Handyman Method by Nick Cutter and Andrew F. Sullivan. This is a horror novel. I got it in the Nightworms horror book subscription service box. And here's a little bit about it. When a young family moves into an unfinished development community, cracks begin to emerge in both their new residence and their lives. As a mysterious online DIY instructor delivers dark subliminal suggestions about how to handle any problem around the house. That's right, it is about an evil YouTube channel, I think. Probably a little more than that, but I get hints of a little bit of The Shining from this. You know, it seems like a father who's going to be manipulated by dark forces into potentially doing bad stuff to his family. Also get some vibes of just you know, the online radicalization, those kind of discussions that have been going on in recent years. So really interested to see what happens with this one. I generally like Nick Cutter's work. I haven't read any of Andrew Sullivan's stuff, but excited to change that and make that happen. Next, I'm going to be joining in on the Buddy Read on Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews Discord channel, where this month they're going to be reading Wizard of the Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. I've actually never read any Ursula K. Le Guin, which is kind of shameful to admit, but true. So I'm excited to dive into that. I'll give you just a little excerpt from the synopsis. Ged, it's G-E-D, is it Ged or Jed? Let's go Jed, that seems more plausible. Jed was the greatest sorcerer in Earthsea, but in his youth he was the reckless sparrowhawk. In his hunger for power and knowledge, he tampered with long-held secrets and loosed a terrible shadow upon the world. This is the tumultuous tale of his testing, how he mastered the mighty words of power and tamed an ancient dragon and crossed death's threshold to restore the balance. Sounds cool. Definitely heard a lot of good things about this book. And now I'm unintentionally realizing that I've got a little bit of a dragon thing going on in September. Just a few more books to get through here. Another one of my highly anticipated releases for September is Holly by Stephen King. Like I said, I do like crime fiction. I know some people are like not a fan of Stephen King's like kind of forays into crime fiction, but I like them, and I'm excited to see where Holly takes us. Just a little bit of the description here. Stephen King's Holly marks the triumphant return of the beloved King character Holly Gibney. Beloved? Are we sure she's beloved? I don't know. I like her, but is she beloved? Maybe after this book she will be. When Penny Dahl calls the Finders Keepers detective agency hoping for help locating her missing daughter, Holly is reluctant to accept the case, but something in Penny Dahl's desperate voice makes it impossible for Holly to turn her down. Mere blocks from where Bonnie Dahl disappeared lives Professors Rodney and Emily Harris. They are the picture of bourgeoisie respectability, married octogenarians devoted to each other and semi-retired lifelong academics, but they are harboring an unholy secret in the basement of their well-kept, book-lined home, one that may be related to Bonnie's disappearance. It sounds like it is related to Bonnie's disappearance, I would wager. So yeah, I'm excited to check this out. I like these crime kind of books by Stephen King because you're never sure. Is it going to be straight crime? Is it going to bridge into some supernatural territory? You just don't know until you get into it. So I'm excited to check that out. And I do like Holly Gibney. She's not beloved to me yet, but maybe she will be. 2 other books I'm going to read this month are fantasies. The first one is Sin Eater by Mike Schell. It's book number 2 of his Iconoclast series. The first book was Aching God, and I just finished that this month and I liked it a lot. I'm going to be doing a review on it next week, so I won't say too much about it now, and I'm not going to say too much about Sin Eater. I'm not sure how to get too deep into it without spoiling some of the first book, but there was a Sin Eater character in the first book who was really creepy and interesting, so excited to see that featured in the title of this next book. Hopefully we'll get deeper into that Sin Eater strange culture that was presented in the first book. If you want to learn more about this series, watch my review coming out next week. Short version though, it's good. The final book is one I'm a little hesitant about, but I'm going to try it. It is Mother of Learning by Nobody 103, aka Danigo Kumayak. I don't know if I'm saying that right. No, I'll scratch that. I'm definitely not saying that right. The reason that I want to check this out is it's a progression fantasy, and ever since the Cradle series ended, I've been wanting to scratch that itch a little more. I haven't read a lot of progression fantasies, but what I have read I've liked. This does sound like it's a little bit more YA-ish, but I don't know. We'll see. Here's the description. A teenage mage of humble birth and slightly above average skill, Zorian is attending his 3rd year of education at a magical academy. A driven and quiet young man, he is consumed by a desire to ensure his own future and free himself of the influence of his family. Consequently, Zorian has no time for pointless distractions, much less other people's problems. As it happens, though, time is something he's about to get plenty of. So what I know about this, and I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say because the whole concept, it's a kid at a magical academy who gets trapped in a time loop, and I believe he's going to use that time loop to get awesome at magic in a progression fantasy type of way. So those are the books I'm going to read in September. Possible I'll get to a couple more. There's some comics I'm wanting to fit in there, including Harrowing. I can't remember. It's an Image comic that is about a slasher. It's just a 4-issue series that's supposed to be a better slasher movie than most slasher movies. So I'm excited to read that as well. But I'm curious what you're reading this month. Let me know in the comments. Or if you do have a video like this, a TBR video, link to that in the comments. I would love to check it out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.